Alma Vivian Powell, née Johnson, October 27, 1937 to July 28, 2024, was an American audiologist, civic leader, children's book author, and the wife of Colin Powell, a prominent military leader and statesman. Her life was marked by resilience, dedication to family, and significant contributions to education and youth advocacy, all while navigating the challenges of being a military spouse during a transformative era in American history. Below is a comprehensive account of her life, drawing from available information and structured to provide a complete picture of her journey. Early life and education, 1937–1957. Alma Vivian Johnson was born on October 27, 1937, in Birmingham, Alabama, during the height of racial segregation in the Jim Crow South. She was the eldest of two daughters born to Mildred and Robert Charles Johnson, a respected educator known as Big Red, due to his height and red hair. Her father served as principal of A.H. Parker High School, Birmingham's first public high school for black students, and was a disciplinarian who emphasized academic excellence. Her mother, Mildred, ran a daycare, founded Alabama's first Girl Scout troop for black girls, and became the first African-American elected assistant moderator of the United Church of Christ, reflecting a family deeply engaged in education and community leadership. Growing up in Birmingham, Alma experienced the harsh realities of segregation but was insulated by a supportive family environment that prioritized learning. Her intellectual aptitude was evident early on. She attended Pratt City Negro School, where she skipped 2 grades, allowing her to enroll at A.H. Parker High School at age 12. Under her father's strict guidance, she excelled academically and graduated in 1954 at age 16. She then attended Fisk University, a historically black college in Nashville, Tennessee, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in Speech and Drama in 1957 at age 19. At Fisk, she honed her communication skills, which later served her in public life. Early career and moved to Boston, 1957–1962. After graduating from Fisk, Alma briefly returned to Birmingham, where she hosted a radio show called Luncheon with Alma on WJLD-AM, showcasing her early charisma and public presence. Seeking further education, she moved to Boston in 1958 to pursue graduate studies in speech pathology and audiology at Emerson College. In Boston, she worked as a staff audiologist for the Boston Guild for the Hard of Hearing, where her responsibilities included conducting hearing tests, fitting veterans with hearing aids, and teaching lip reading to deaf individuals. This work reflected her commitment to helping others, a theme that persisted throughout her life. Although she did not complete her graduate degree at the time, her contributions to the field were later recognized with an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters from Emerson College in 1996. Marriage to Colin Powell and life as a military spouse, 1962–1980s. In 1961, Alma met Colin Powell, then a second lieutenant stationed at Fort Devens, Massachusetts, on a blind date arranged by a mutual friend. The two connected quickly, and they married on August 25, 1962, at the First Congregational Church in Birmingham. 4 months later, Colin was deployed to Vietnam, leaving Alma, who was pregnant with their first child, Michael, in Birmingham. This period was fraught with tension, as Birmingham was a flashpoint in the civil rights movement. Alma lived near the site of the 1963 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, which killed 4 young black girls, and witnessed the violent backlash against desegregation protests led by figures like Fred Shuttlesworth. She later described these early years as a military spouse as the defining experience of my life, shaping her resilience and sense of duty. Alma and Colin had 3 children. Michael, born 1963, who later became chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, Linda, born 1965, who pursued a career in acting, and Annemarie, born 1970, who became a life coach. Colin's military career, which included 2 tours in Vietnam, 1962–1963 and 1968–1969, and assignments in South Korea and elsewhere, often left Alma to raise their children alone. The family moved frequently, living in various military posts across the United States, including Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Alma embraced the military community as a surrogate family, stating, "Home was where we were together as a family, wherever that was." Her ability to maintain stability for her children amidst constant relocations and her husband's absences underscored her strength and adaptability. Civic engagement and public role, 1980s–2000s. As Colin Powell's career ascended, culminating in his roles as National Security Advisor, 1987-1989, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, 1989-1993, and Secretary of State, 2001-2005, Alma took on increasingly prominent civic roles. She became a public figure in her own right, known for her grace, intelligence, and commitment to social causes, particularly education and youth welfare. In 1997, Alma played a pivotal role in founding America's Promise Alliance, a nonprofit organization launched at the President's Summit for America's Future in Philadelphia, chaired by Colin Powell. The organization aimed to provide mentorship, education, and opportunities to at-risk youth. Alma served as board chair from 2004 and later as chair emeritus, dedicating herself to its mission of ensuring young people had access to the 5 promises: caring adults, safe places, a healthy start, an effective education, and opportunities to help others. To support this mission, she authored 2 children's books: America's Promise, 2003, which became a New York Times bestseller, and My Little Wagon, 2003, both aimed at inspiring young readers and raising awareness for the organization's goals. Alma's civic contributions extended beyond America's Promise. During Colin's tenure as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, she advised the Red Cross in the Military District of Washington, D.C., supporting military families. She also served as vice chair of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts under President Bill Clinton, promoting arts and education. From 2010 to 2012, she was a member of President Barack Obama's Board of Advisors on historically black colleges and universities, advocating for educational equity. Additionally, Alma volunteered as an Arlington Lady, representing the Army at funerals in Arlington National Cemetery, a role she took on to honor fallen service members and their families. She also chaired the Pew Center for Civic Change, earning the organization's award in 1997, and was named Washingtonian of the Year in 2000 for her community service. Personal challenges and influence on Colin Powell. Alma faced significant personal challenges, including a period of clinical depression in the 1980s, which she openly discussed later in life. Her resilience in overcoming this struggle highlighted her strength of character. She was also a grounding force for her family, often described by her children as the rock that held them together. Alma's influence on Colin Powell's career was profound, though often behind the scenes. In 1995, when Colin considered running for president, Alma's concerns about his safety, particularly after receiving death threats from white supremacists, played a significant role in his decision to forego a candidacy. Her no-nonsense yet supportive demeanor earned her respect among political and military circles, where she was seen as a partner who complemented Colin's public persona with her quiet strength and humor. Later years and legacy, 2000s-2024. In her later years, Alma continued her advocacy work, particularly with America's Promise Alliance, and remained a beloved figure in her community. She and Colin lived in McLean, Virginia, where they raised their family and maintained close ties with military and civic organizations. After Colin's death from COVID-19 complications in October 2021, Alma became a widow, but she remained active in her causes until her health declined. Alma Powell died on July 28, 2024, at her home in Alexandria, Virginia, at the age of 86. Her children released a statement describing her as a woman of strength, grace, and warmth, who was the grounding force of our family. They highlighted her lifelong dedication to education, children, and military families, noting her role as a partner to Colin Powell through his distinguished career. She was survived by her 3 children, 4 grandchildren, Lila, Jody, Ryan, and Kendall, 1 great-grandson, a niece, 2 nephews, and many extended family members and friends. In lieu of flowers, the Powell family requested donations to America's Promise Alliance in her memory. Legacy and impact. Alma Powell's life was defined by her ability to balance personal sacrifice with public service. As a military spouse, she navigated the challenges of raising a family during turbulent times, including the civil rights movement and her husband's frequent deployments. Her work as an audiologist, author, and civic leader left a lasting impact on education and youth advocacy, particularly through America's Promise Alliance. Her quiet influence on Colin Powell's career, coupled with her own achievements, cemented her as a figure of resilience and grace. Recognized with awards like the Pew Center for Civic Change Award and Washingtonian of the Year, Alma's legacy endures through her contributions to her community and the lives she touched through her advocacy for children and families.